in typical Tom fashion, ram it together as quick as possible, and then don't do it right. Howdy. So, got to go haul some beans to the port of Hamilton. I guess there's some kind of miscommunication. I thought all my contracts were filled back in November, but somehow there was 32-ton missed, and Parrish and Heimbecker, who I deal with, they were like, we're 32-ton short. I'm like, yeah, you could have told me that a while ago, but I have some unsold beans in the bin, so I think the 32-ton should be fine. I think I overestimated how many ton were in the bin, so gonna pick up the grain trailer. I was gonna do that anyways. I got corn to go out in the first week of April, so gonna truck those beans to Hamilton, and then either this week or next week empty the bin out to fill a contract locally here. So yeah, it's cold today. It's like 0 or 1 degree Celsius, so yeah, just gonna unhook the truck here from the feed trailer and go pick up the grain trailer at the dairy farm, or where we're building the dairy. It's inside the shed there, and then we'll give you an update on the dairy barn as well. Engine's at the bottom of the fold, but it's slanted that way a wee bit, so it should be where it should be. So a little bit of a history about this truck. We got it like 6 or 7 years ago. Be 7 years ago. And then last year we put a new engine in it. It was time. We knew that when we kind of bought the truck. And then it wasn't worth rebuilding the old engine. So we put a new one in it. And then lo and behold, after 5 hours, the head started leaking oil externally. So we're like, oh, what the heck? So at that point, it's Cummins' problem. So we took it back to the shop, and they're obviously a Cummins, I don't know what you call that, but they're allowed to work on Cummins stuff. So they took it out, and then they had to bring it to the city, and they wanted to machine the head. And I was like, well, I kind of want a new engine. I don't want you guys to touch a new engine with 5 hours, take it all apart, put it back together. But anyways, they wanted to machine it, so I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Got the engine back, and 5 hours later, it started leaking out of the same spot. I'm like, did they even work on it? Anyways, it went back, but I was like, okay, I want a new engine. And they were like, yeah. And then the guy that we were dealing with, the shop guy, it was taking a while, and then he went there to go check up on it, and they had it all apart. And he's like, I think my customer deserves a new engine. So anyways, it was a gong show with Cummins. I don't want to badmouth their name, but yeah, didn't get treated very well. Didn't even get compensated for having the truck down for 5.5 months, which I think was a little bit ridiculous. But so far, so good. So in that time, we redid the transmission, redid the truck, radiator, everything driveline wise is new. The truck's an 06, so that's why we spent as much money as we did on it. Everything's pre-emission. So yeah, just a little bit of history of the truck. And then last year I put new exhaust on it to make loud noises. But yeah, oil's good, and give it a start. Never mind, we got an exhaust leak here. Clamp's a little loose. Just want to tighten that thing up. too slow. That works too. Just got to the farm here and Eric's 10 steps ahead. Shoveling for me already. I can't work too hard, I'm a chicken farmer. Can you jack it up a bit? So yeah, this is what the dairy barn looks like inside now. Doors are in. The construction crew pulled out. We got to wait for the ceiling, or for it to warm up to put the ceiling in, because if you put the ceiling in now, it's that plastic stuff that looks like tin. I forget what you call it. If you put it in when it's cold and then it warms up, it expands, then you get all the ripples. So waiting for that, and then they're actually putting 2 fans in the parlor barn right now, so we can try and warm it up and dry it out. We got a heater, so just here in the parlor barn, they just installed 2 fans here, and then we rented a heater, diesel heater. Plan is to heat this one up, put insulation at the doors, and then put the 2 fans in to push the warm air down. So the sooner we get the frost out of this, the sooner the concrete crews can come back and start working here. There's just a bit of snow in the front here. But yeah, gonna turn the heater on here this afternoon. Gonna turn the heater on, right? Yeah. This is what we have to deal with. And the frost is still a little bit in here. This is gonna be fun. You're a dirty dog. So what I do is throw the tennis ball before she can come in the house, so at least some dirt comes off in the snow. So just a little bit about the unload setup. It's a 1332 harvest auger. 2 of the bins are hydraulic. Works fine. Electric's nicer. But I didn't build these bins. I would have done it a little different. Just, it gets really tight in here. These bins came with the farm. As soon as you're unloading that bin, for sure the other one, you have to open up the shop door or use the big long auger and then unload out into the yard. It's a bit tricky to get in there and unload, but got to work with what we got. So yeah, I'll drive the truck underneath the auger here now. Don't want to hit these stacks. Close. Okay, now I always run the auger first in the beginning of the year because I have no idea what's in here. It's not frozen, but well, you know how I said always run the auger to make sure there's nothing in there? Well, lo and behold, there was one of the farm cats in there. It was one of the friendlier ones too. I don't know what it was doing in there, but usually it's like a raccoon or something. So went through the auger, and then it was still living, so I had to deal with that because it was in no shape to keep living. That sucks, but that's why if I would have shoved soybeans through there, then you wouldn't have seen it, and then well, that cat would have been at the port, and yeah, it's just not a good thing. So we'll fire it back up, make sure we got the auger going the right way. I usually just sit in the truck. It takes about 12 to 15 minutes to load. I have a camera there just for the yard, and I can hit these bins. I just can't quite hit that one, so I kind of just watch it. Like a normal person does, I guess. I don't trust this thing not coming out, so I always tape it. Clearly it's happened before. Once it gets to there, it's a legal load. So got that all loaded up. Took 12 minutes. Goes pretty quick. I noticed while I was up there that I put that cable on backwards, or the wrong way around the spool. Luckily I caught it, or else it would have just wound off. But we'll pull the truck into the shop here. I want to clean it out a little bit. Haven't cleaned it out in a little while, and it's kind of gross. We'll refix this strap, or this cable. See how I went over? It's got to go under. So if I tape it, the beginning of the cable doesn't jump. I don't know, I'm probably doing it wrong, so don't take any advice from me. Just like that. So this is a Titan trailer. They're made in Canada. It's crazy in the last 2 years how many of these trailers, not these ones, these I wouldn't say are that common. It's more the B trains or the 5-axle or 4-axle. This just works for us. We're not full-time grain haulers, so we went with the cheapest option that they had, and that's this. It holds quite a bit. not legally, but it holds quite a bit. Yeah, we love it. It's all aluminum. It won't rust. We've ran it a couple times over the winter, but I think this would be its fourth year with it, I think. Yeah, 4th year. This is going into the 4th year with it, and there's no rust even on the axles. So yeah, we try not to run it in the winter. I always try and book most of my grain for fall delivery and then spring delivery April. It's not ideal, but yeah, I just don't like driving truck in the wintertime if we don't have to. So should have took my hubcaps off. They're green. That's all right. We use an acid wash, and it cleans it up. So we'll clean up this pigsty. This is definitely a dairy farmer's truck. Yeah, we'll vacuum it out and give her a wipe. It's always nice to go on a nice 4-hour road trip in a decently clean truck. And got to use a steel brush to get some of the hard spots loose. Somewhat clean now. Give you guys the gist of it. I didn't want to show it to you before because it was really embarrassing, but I'll clean the inside right now. Last fall, what did I do? I took apart something in here, something wasn't working. And when I did, I forgot to pull the air horn cable liner through. So just in typical Tom fashion, ram it together as quick as possible and then don't do it right. So doing it right now. Okay, there's the, oh yeah. Oh. Jeez, that scared me. Haha. Holy crap. Scared myself. Okay, now to get this whole rat's nest back together. I don't know how you truck mechanics do this all day long. Probably check to make sure everything works. Yep. You want to see the most farmer day cab conversion kit possible? So when you bought this truck, it was a piece of plywood, so I thought I'd at least update the plywood chunk, but a piece of stainless, plexiglass bolted, and then a piece of plexiglass on the inside. I should probably get the right conversion kit, but this is the cheapest, I guess. It looks all right from the outside. If you're a farmer, day cabs are the way to go, in my opinion. You can see right out the back window, or the cab and a half is nice so that if you are in line, you could at least lay down, but you don't know how many times this window has saved me. It's nice to be able to look. I mean, I guess you could use your mirrors, but this is the way to go. So, truck's clean enough for me. So that's going to be the end of this video. Tomorrow I'll wash up the truck before I leave. It's supposed to be 10 degrees Celsius. So yeah, nice day for washing. My load time is between 4 and 8 p.m. But I got a visitation to go to, and then I got hockey. So I'm going to try and cheat that a little bit. Maybe leave here just after lunch. So yeah, wash that up. I'll make a whole video of bringing the load of beans down to the port of Hamilton there. And yeah, so thanks for watching.